All right, this is Richie Contartesi with Relentless TV, and today we're going to talk about how to create a relentless passion in your workplace. So whether you're the CEO, the owner, the entrepreneur, a manager, or you're just an employee in a workplace where there's no passion and you want to create that relentless passion, this is for you. We're going to talk about how to do that. Listen. All right, so for all of you entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, business owners, CEOs, number one, and I learned this recently, and this has changed a lot for me. All right, I learned this from Cole Hatter from Thrive, and I've made some big changes. Purpose, business. So what do I mean by this? So what he means, and he's come up with this concept, is it's not a for-profit and it's not a non-for-profit. So a for-profit is just for the income, the money coming in, and it's not a for-profit a non-profit where we have to wait for a specific amount of donations before we can do anything to help others. Both of them help others, but when we wait for donations, we're limited only to the amount of donations. So a for-purpose business allows you to create a profit and do business as normal, and you're not stuck to just the donations and you give something away or 10% of your proceeds go to this. So Tom's is a good example. Tom's is a for-purpose business. And what Tom's does is for every one shoe they give one shoe away. So that's their example. So if you want to create a relentless passion in your workplace, the first thing is you have to have something that you're passionate about as the business owner or as the employee, or somebody's got to create the passion that everybody can follow into, right? So as a leader, you've got to create that vibe, that passion, that excitement that everybody can buy into. All right, so I recently spoke at a medical device company, and I was speaking with their team, and specifically their sales team. And as I'm speaking with them, none of them had or knew what their why was or what their purpose was. And this is really shocking to me. They did focus on goals, but I went around and I asked 10 of the individuals what their why was, why they wanted to even achieve these goals, and not one of them knew. So number two is we've got to help them find their individual purpose. So as a manager, a CEO, an owner, an entrepreneur, solopreneur, anybody who's on your team, like, it's your responsibility, it's your duty to help that person, yes, set and achieve goals. But on top of setting and achieving goals is you got to help them find their purpose, why they're waking up every morning. Why would they want to work extra hours? Why would they want to push the business to a new level? Like, that's what we have to think about, and we have to help them with this. If we're not helping them with that, then we're failing them. So a lot of people, they just focus on this. What's the money? If you achieve goals, you get more money. That's what most people focus on. The problem with that is when the business goes like this, then what happens? Now you're in trouble, right? So if the business has a purpose, the individual has a purpose, when times go down, that's when you're going to see the 4:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Now, obviously, we want to help them create that work-life balance, right? But when there's slopes, we know that there's things that we have to do in order to get out of those, and we have to make sure our team is on the same page. The next one is a big one, right? So how do we create, we have the for purpose, we have the individual, and we talked about this a little bit, is goals. Listen closely here, and incentives. Okay, so not just goals, but incentives. And I know we talked about, having the money, and we're going to do that. We're going to reward them. We're going to reward our team, the people around us, with money. We have to, right? If we want them to stick around. Now, if your purpose is so big and they don't care about, because I've heard some crazy stories with amazing purposes, and they didn't care about the money or even want the money or work the money. They didn't need the money, right? So that didn't matter to them. But having goals and incentives creates what? What does that create? And a lot of people love this, and that's competition, right? So if you can create that competition, that's gonna create this kind of result. It's just the bottom line. Because people are gonna want to compete with each other, they're gonna want to get better, they're gonna want other people around them to get better. So actually the first job that I got out of college was for a company called K-Force. And when I worked for this company, they had a meeting where everyone around the country, all the sales professionals around the country came together, and they had a competition. And it was this big belt, and I wish I still had it with me. I don't. It's actually with my dad in Virginia. But we had this big belt. And I'll tell you this, they could have done the training, and they could have not had any incentives or anything like that. But I'll tell you this, all the people that were in that class all did extremely well. And the reason being is because they didn't go to the class because they had to. They went to that class to learn, to compete. But on top of that, they went to that class to win. They went to that class to win. And when you have that winning mentality, man, that relentless passion will be there. Like that relentless passion, like that passion we all want the people around us to have, will be there. Thank you so much. This is Richie Contartesi. Subscribe if you like these videos. Thank you so much. Have a great day.